Hey, Calvary kids. It is the day before Easter. It is Saturday. And we don't normally talk a lot about the Saturday before Easter, in part because not really a ton happens per se. And it's kind of smashed between two really important events, right? Between Jesus dying on the cross and Jesus rising from the grave. So we don't talk about it too much. And honestly, a lot of what the Bible records is technically like late Friday night, not necessarily Saturday. So, but I just thought I'd share a few things with y'all. So, if you remember, Jesus dies on the cross, right, and dies, right, and a lot of times people would just be like left on the cross, like they wouldn't even get buried, especially if they were criminals. But there was one guy named Joseph. Now, don't get this confused. It's not Joseph, Jesus' dad, Joseph. This is a different Joseph, who was actually a member of the Jewish leaders, the same group of people that had killed Jesus. But Joseph didn't agree with this plan. He didn't like it. And so he actually goes to Pilate, remember the one of the guys who decided Jesus was guilty, like handed Jesus over to the crowd, and asks for Jesus's body for him to be buried. And so Joseph has this tomb and puts Jesus there, and he rolls the stone in front of it, and then there's guards. Joseph doesn't put the guards there, but there's the Romans assign some guards to stand watch in front of this tomb. And I think this is important because, like, a lot of times we kind of skip over it, like I said, because it's between two big things. But also I think it's cool that Joseph did the right thing even when everyone else wasn't. Like, all of his, I guess, friends, I don't know, on the Jewish leaders' court called the Sanhedrin, they all were a part of having Jesus killed, and they would have loved for Jesus to not be buried properly and just stay on the cross. But Joseph does the right thing and gets Jesus' body down and buries him. And I just was thinking about that today, and I thought that was really cool that he kind of, I don't know, stood up for what was right when everyone else wasn't. So that's kind of a challenge for us, right? Is even if when everyone else is doing the wrong thing, like, we should still choose to do the right thing, generally. And then one other thought is, so the day after Jesus is killed and buried, it was the Sabbath, which, if you don't know what the Sabbath is, it's a day of rest. It's a time where we pause from, like, work and maybe all the other things we have to do, and we just kind of take a moment to rest and enjoy time with God. And a lot of times for people that's on Sundays, right? But it doesn't always have to be Sundays. Sometimes it could be a different day. Like, if your Sundays, you've got church, but besides church, you've got 50 other things, like maybe you have sports games or something. Sometimes a different day could be a day of rest. But rest is important, and God actually doesn't make us rest because, like, he needs us to rest. He commands us to rest because God knows that we need rest. And so that's kind of what happens after Jesus is buried. He's buried, and then it's the Sabbath. And that's why the women who come Easter morning don't come until then, is because they couldn't come on the Sabbath. So they had to wait, and that's why they were there on Sunday, which we'll talk about tomorrow, but not live. But there'll be a video for y'all tomorrow. Oh, and I'll show you my picture I drew. Okay, I'm not an artist, so I guess you can laugh because I won't see you laugh. But it's not a very good picture. It's actually a very bad picture. But so here's my attempt at drawing the tomb. Okay, the really funny part are my soldiers. I tried to draw, the little red, like, armor things they wear, but it ended up just looking like a dress. So, and those yellow things are supposed to be helmets, but they just look like bad haircuts. So, anyway, I do the tomb closed and some soldiers. Oh, and the Z's are because it's the Sabbath day, like rest, sleeping. But anyway, so just to review, Calvary kids, I encourage you to do the right thing even when no one else is. And I look forward to celebrating with you tomorrow, Easter, when Jesus proves that he is who he says he is and he comes back from the dead, right? Because on Saturday, the disciples are scared. Satan thinks he's won. The Romans think they've won. The Jewish leaders think they've won. They're laughing, thinking, they rock. All of Jesus' followers are sad. But we know that Sunday is going to come, and it's going to be super joyous and full of celebration. So I will see you later, Calvary kids. Have a great